Hey folks, Scott and Tess here with Tess TV Crabbing and Fishing. Welcome to our living room. I ordered a juiced e-bike about a week ago and it came in today. I was going to assemble it in the garage, but it's super cold this week and I decided to unbox it and assemble it in our living room. So stay tuned for the unboxing and assembly. So Juice makes it really simple to unbox the e-bike. There's 4 steps to it. So step 1 is place the box on its side. And then step 2, open the bottom of the box and open the flaps. Step 3 is you're going to lift the box, you're going to stand the box back up and lift it up on the and bring the bike out of its foam. And then step 4 is remove the front wheel from the foam and then begin the assembly process. I'm halfway done with the unboxing process. I still have to take a lot of this foam off. Inside the box there's a tool kit. There's also the pedals, and there is a left and a right pedal. So be careful because these thread on the cranks in a certain way. So you have to have the left pedal, and there's an L here that says left, L for left. This pedal has a R for right, okay, and you have the rear reflector, you have a forward reflector, and you have parts for the chain, and I'm going to have to read some of the instructions. Right here is the quick release stem for the front wheel, and again they give you a tool kit. So I'm going to go ahead and start assembling the bike, and we'll put this together in quick time. Okay, this is the right hand pedal, and these are threaded, so right hand pedal is going to thread to the right. Okay, like that. The instructions say to tighten these pedals up with a lot more torque than you think. So you just don't screw them on by hand. You need to put these on with a wrench and then really torque them down. So that's pretty tight. And I'm going to go back through and tighten these again. L, on it. There you go. Letter L. And put this on the left-hand side. Be threaded to go from right to left. And this one is. So the right-hand side goes from left to right, and this one threads to the left. So the left pedal threads counterclockwise, the right pedal threads clockwise. And then just finish this up. And this is on. Okay. Okay, so I got the bike assembled, and there's a couple of little nuances. Down here on the back fender, it looks like this plastic piece that hooks on to the rack was broken in shipping. I don't know if I did it or if it was done in shipping, so I'm probably going to have to replace this piece right here. Other than that, the bike went together really well. Now I'm just going to go ahead and turn it on, and the way to do this is I'm going to turn the bike this way. Is the battery has a key, and then you hit the power button to the battery, and when it's blue, that means it's on. And let's see, there we go. And then to put it in, you have to keep the key open, the battery goes in, and then you take your key out, and then the battery stays in that way. Okay, and then up here, there's a power button right here, and I'm just going to press the power button. You hold it down for 2 seconds, and it powers up the front here on the display. Now, down here is my throttle. Now step back a little bit because I'll test the throttle. I'm gonna, and I'll spin this around. Take a look at the back wheel. I'm just gonna lift up the wheel and then press down the throttle and make sure it works, just like that. So that shows me that the throttle is working and the electronics are working and the brake is working. So stay tuned. I'm going to give this a test ride, and I'll report back with my thoughts on the juiced RipCurrent e-bike. Hey folks, so let's walk through some of the specs and then the pros and cons of the juiced RipCurrent S e-bike. The RipCurrent S e-bike that I chose is the fat tire bike. That's the 20-inch wheels, 4.5 inches wide, and they're very big and cushy wheels. So they're going to be really good for my usage model, which is sand. Mostly going to be for fishing on the beach, as you can see in the video. The size of the frame, I really wrestled with that because Juice gives you 3 frame sizes to choose from. So you can get a medium, large, or extra large. And the cool thing about their website is you can take how tall you are and then match up the frame size to your height. So I chose the extra large because I have longer legs, and I think I made the right choice. I probably could have gone with the large also and had just as good of experience. There's a few other videos out there of people who are tall like I am, who are taller, that bought the medium and the large, and they said that they like their bikes, but my big concern was leg extension when I'm pedaling. So I went with the extra large. For me, that was the right fit. The battery is the upgraded G2 52 volt 19.2 amp battery. It has, they say it has a range of 70 miles. I haven't completely tested that yet, but So far, it seems like with an e-bike, this is my first experience with an e-bike, and I'm noticing that I'm riding a lot farther than on a regular bike. So one thing you might want to do is, if you get an e-bike, bring water and maybe a set of tools if you need them, but because you could find yourself very far from home just in no time flat. They're also extremely fun, so you don't realize how far you are from home until maybe it's too late. The speed of this bike, for you speed freaks, is on pedal assist, you can go up to 28 miles per hour, but on the throttle only, it'll go 20 miles per hour. So this is where I had some confusion. Is I was thinking, well, I could hold down the throttle, and by the way, it's a thumb throttle. So I was thinking I could hold down the throttle and pedal, but really the throttle goes out at, the throttle motor goes out at 20 miles per hour. The pedal assist stops at 28 miles per hour. So if you want to go faster, then you really need to pedal hard to get to 30 and faster. So you can go faster, but you really got to work at it. The other thing I had an issue with was understanding the pedal assist on the different levels. So there's levels, pedal assist level 1, 2, and 3, and then there's a sport mode, and then you can unlock the race mode. And there's a way to do that Juiced has a really good video on YouTube on unlocking the race mode. But basically, when you're pedaling in, say, eco mode, which is the very first mode, that kind of takes away the weight of the bike. Then if you go to number 1, pedal assist 1, think of that as like maybe 1x harder than what, 1x more power than what you can pedal normally. Pedal assist 2 is kind of like 2x, 3 is 3x. Sport mode, there's no 4, they call it sport mode. And then race mode. So you can get this bike going really fast. So brakes, these are hydraulic disc brakes on the front and the rear. They have better stopping capacity than the rim brakes. So it's good that there are hydraulic assist brakes on them. But you got to be really careful not to contaminate the rotor, and that is the thing. I didn't realize that, and that can cause your brakes to squeal really, really loud. So more on that later. The suspension is a adjustable air forks, and you can turn the suspension off completely if you want to just pedal. But if you're going to be on pedal assist or just throttle, it's great to have that suspension on all the way. You could turn it on all the way, and if you hit a bump, you can bottom out pretty easily. So I put it on all the way, then I dial it back 2 clicks, and I fine-tune that suspension that's right for me, so you could play with the suspension on the front forks and see what's right for you. So let's go into the pros and cons. I'm going to start with the cons, and then I'll go into the pros. So number 1 con was the seat. They talk about the gel seat and it's comfortable. It's not. The first thing I did was I changed out that seat, and I opted for a Cloud 9 seat, and I'll put the link to all the accessories in the description of this video. But the first thing I did was I changed out that seat. And then the other con I found was there's no local support. So you need to be kind of handy when you ride an e-bike if you order one offline. Or rather, if you order one online. If you order it from a store, then at least you have that local support. So that's something to consider, is if you're not very handy or you don't have time and you want someone else to do it quickly and right the first time, I would highly recommend maybe checking out your local bike shops that sell e-bikes. Also, Juiced is their support. They're not open on weekends, so I think that's a con, because most people are probably riding their bikes on weekends, and if they need support, it's probably going to be on the weekend. Although their service Monday through Friday is excellent, and they reply to all their emails. I've sent them many emails. I had many questions, mostly around the throttle and the pedal assist. I had to order a new rear fender stay, and they sent me a new fender stay immediately because I think it broke either on shipping or maybe I broke it when I set it up. But no worries, their service and support has been excellent. They have lots of great videos specific to each brand of bike or each model of bike that they make. And so their videos are, excellent videos. They walk you right through step by step of either setting up or fixing something, and ask lots of questions. They reply to all of their chats, everything, all the messages that you put into their video chats on YouTube. They actually reply to, and at least they replied to all of mine, and they did it rather quickly. So I was pretty impressed. So anyway, the cons I think are pretty minimal. The pros, easy setup, easy setup. I really had an enjoyable time setting up the bike. There's really only three main things you have to do after you unbox it. Is put the front wheel on, put the handlebars on, and then screw on the pedals. That's pretty much it. There's not much else to it. The battery, I had a lot of questions on the battery, but the battery is heavy. It's about an 8-pound battery. And I found that it's probably way easier to take the battery off while you're putting it on your bike rack. More on that later. But the battery is easy to charge up. It comes with the charger. It's not like a cell phone battery. It's you don't want to charge it all the way up, and you also don't want to drain it. They say to keep the battery, when it gets to about 20%, to put it back on the charger, but then don't charge it all the way up. So there are some confusing things about charging the battery, but Juiced is really good about telling you, answering those questions about charging the battery. The battery I have on this new Juiced RipCurrent S actually has a battery monitor on the battery itself. I found that to be super simple. That's very similar to like looking at your cell phone and knowing when you have to charge it up. So I can keep the battery on the bike when I charge it, or I can take the battery off when you charge it. You don't want to have that battery charging longer than necessary. As soon as it gets to about 80% capacity, you want to stop charging it. The idea being is if you fully charge it and then you fully drain it and you keep on doing that in those extremes, the battery won't last as long. So that's where you get into battery electronics and theory and all that stuff. So I won't get into that here. I think overall, though, my experience with this bike has been it's been amazing. It's a lot of fun to ride. My usage model is going to be fishing primarily, so I can fish more water up and down the coast and find surf perch. Surf perch are one of those fish that you have to go find them. They're not always in the same place all the time. So on a long beach where they allow or where they don't allow cars or motorcycles, you can take your e-bike, and I can fish up and down the beach. Of course, I'm not going to get this bike wet in the surf. I'm going to keep it up further, and then of course you're going to want to wash it down, after your day in your salt water. But so far, I've been very, very impressed with the service and the support of Juiced and the product, the bike itself. They've delivered on everything they promised that this bike could do. If this video is helpful for you, please give me a like and a subscribe. It helps out Tess and me, and we'll see you on the water.